guys, this is Mad with COD News. Today I'm going to show you how to create your own Minecraft server. It's pretty simple, but a lot of people have issues with it the first time around, and not too many people are willing to help you out because they're almighty and so much better than you. Anyway, I'm just going to show you how to do it, and it takes about 20 minutes, and it does involve a couple of things like port forwarding and using the command prompt, but they're really simple, and as long as you follow this video, you'll be golden. So let's just get started. The first thing you want to do is open up a web browser and type in the IP address for your router. This can be found using the manual that came with your router. A lot of times it's 192.168.0.1. But the last two numbers usually differ. Like it can be 0.1.0, 0.2, 0.2.1, 0.1.2. It's all different. So just consult your router manual. When you hit enter, a page similar to this will come up asking for a username and a password. If you have never set up your router before or never changed the password for it, the username is usually admin and the password is usually admin. However, if you have changed it, then just use whatever you've changed it to. And if you're young and you don't know it, ask your parents for help. So just sign in. I had cap locks on. Alright. It is case sensitive, by the way, the password, and most of them. Alright, so what you want to look for once you're inside is something close to gaming, or advanced, or virtual server, something around there. For me, I just go to advanced, and it brings me straight to virtual server, with all these options on the side. When you find virtual server, you're gonna want to create a new one or add a new one, and name it whatever you want, and you need to type in your IP address for your computer. Now my router has a drop down box here that lists the names of all the computer, and then it gives you the IP address of every one. Some routers don't do that. So what you want to do is go to Start. If you're on Windows XP, you click Start, Run, and type in CMD and hit enter. If you're on Windows Vista or Windows 7, just do what I do. Type in CMD and hit Run as Administrator. Now, once this command prompt comes up, type in IP config. This shows you all the information regarding your local area connection, your LAN, local area network. What you want to look for is right here, Ethernet adapter local area connection. Inside that, you want to look for your IPv4 address, and follow the dots and find your IP address. Mine's 192.168.0.113, and type it into the IP address. And wherever it says port, doesn't matter what the first word is, wherever it says port, you want to type in 25565 for every single one. And then the protocol, there's two protocols, there's TCP and UDP. You want both. Schedule will be always. Inbound filter will be allow all. Save settings, and then the next step is to get the software for your server. So to do that, you have to go to bukkit.org and click this button right here, recommended build 818. Then you can read this, it doesn't really matter. A lot of it is for developers, but you only need the build artifacts. So click here, craft bucket snapshot.jar. Save it, and it'll download. Once it's downloaded, you want to make a new folder on the desktop or wherever you want to save your server, and name it something that you'll be able to, that's memorable. I'm going to name it server. So once it's downloaded, you can move it into the folder. Remember, make sure that it's snapshot. There's no number or anything else. It has to be snapshot. I've already downloaded it a couple of times, so change it to 3. Make sure it's just snapshot. So now you want to make a new text document using Notepad, or like I just did, and name it whatever you want. You can name it run or start. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to name it start. Open it up, and you're going to want to copy a code that I will give in the description. into the box. You want to copy this. Now, if you're on a 32-bit machine, you can leave it exactly like this. However, if you are on a 64-bit machine, you want to right after files between the S and the percentage sign, you want to do open parentheses x86 close parentheses. That shows that it'll point the program to the right location, because Java is a 32-bit program, and if you install it on a 64-bit computer, it'll be installed to the ProgramFiles X86 folder. So hit Save As, All Files, and add .bat. Hit Save. You can close it. Close the text document now. Now you can delete the text document and run the Windows batch file that you just made. It'll run. It'll tell you that warning that it failed to load a whole bunch of stuff. And what it's doing right now is extracting everything that's in the jar file and running it. This is the first time you're making the server, so it will go a little slow for the first time, but after the first time it speeds up considerably. Now, while this is going through, I'll show you, while I'll wait for this to finish loading, I'll tell you a little bit about each file. Whitelist. That's the opposite of a blacklist. A whitelist allows you to put the names of whoever players you want to be able to join your game. It's kind of like it's kind of like invite only. All right, well this is done. So you just hit once this is done, you just type stop and hit enter. It'll tell you it's saving it, and any key to continue when it's done. All right. So now that we've covered a whitelist, let's just start at the top. Plugins. This is where you put any kind of add-on that you want to use, such as Essentials or World Edit or World Guard. We'll get to those later. World. This is where all the items, the entire world is saved in that file. World Nether. Same thing as World, except this saves all the items dealing with the Nether, which is essentially hell. Banned IPs, that's where you can write any, it's just a Notepad document, that's where you can write any IP address to ban people from your server. If you don't know their IP address, or you just want to ban certain people, then you can type in their name. Bukkit is a YML file, just leave that alone for now. Always, never delete the snapshot file, you will need it. Ops is another text document. It contains the names of everyone that you want to be an admin. So you will have to add your own name. So my name is MattyD12 on Minecraft. So you enter your own Minecraft username and hit save. And if you want anybody else to be an admin, I'll use my friend as an example. You just enter and enter their name. And then hit save again. Close that out. Server right here. It's a log of everything that shows up in the command prompt. It just records everything that's shown. And sometimes it can get a bit bloated, but it doesn't really matter. Properties file. Alright, this is where it gets interesting. This is basically the configuration file for your server. When you first open it, usually Windows has never seen a properties file, or has never opened one at least. So when you first open it to read it or edit it, it's going to say you can't find a program, would you like to choose one? Select yes, browse from a list of programs or something like that, and search. And if you're on Windows 7, I'm not sure if Vista has it, but if it does, use WordPad. If you're on XP, use Notepad++. Download it from Microsoft's website. Not regular Notepad. Do not use regular Notepad. It'll screw it up. Use WordPad or Notepad++. Anyway, when you open this up, you'll have the first two lines. One's the title, one's the date. Level name of the world. This corresponds with that folder right there. If you name this something different, it'll make a different folder, and it'll just be a different name. It's essentially the same thing. Just leave it alone. Allow Nether. This is put it to true if you want people to be able to build portals and go to the Nether world. If not, then just put it to false, like this. View distance 10, leave that alone. I'm not entirely sure what that does. I don't really care. Monsters and animals. This is important. If you have a bad computer, or if you're on the server and you're experiencing lag at nighttime, or whenever you see animals on the screen, or zombies, or creepers, or spiders, then you want to put these to false, because that'll disable zombies and any animal or any mob being able to spawn into the game, and this will reduce lag and increase performance for you and whoever's on your server. So if you're experiencing any lag, the first thing to do would be to turn off animals or monsters, or both of them. Online mode. Online mode obviously allows your server to be found online. It allows people to connect to it. So if you want people to connect to your server, like your friends, then you leave it as true. Max players. Again, this is something about lag. The more players you have in your server, the more demanding it's going to be. So if you're finding you have too much lag and you have a lot of people in your game, then turn this down to about 10, or maybe 5, or maybe for some people have to have it at 2. I'll keep it at 10 because I only have about 8 friends that play Minecraft, so I don't have to worry about not having enough room. PvP, server IP, leave that alone. PvP, this is if you want people to be able to hurt each other. Put it to false if you don't want people to hurt each other. Server port, that's the port that you used to port forward earlier. Allow flight, this is for people who like to cheat and fly around. If you don't want them to be able to cheat and fly around, then put it to false. However, sometimes there's a glitch that occurs where if you fall too long from a giant jump or something, this game will kick you because you're flying. It perceives you as flying because you're in the air for too long. And there's another glitch where sometimes you're building a block and you keep jumping because you're inside of it, essentially. The game perceives you as flying when you're doing that, so it will kick you. So, if that glitch ever happens and every time you join a server you can't do anything because the game keeps kicking you, then turn this to true. Or if you want people to be able to cheat and fly around, put it to true. Whitelist. This is true if you want to use the whitelist. However, if you do want to use the whitelist, make sure you add the players' names to this document, like so. And then save and close. So, if you put it to true, make sure you add everyone that you want to be able to connect, put their names in that file. Spawn protection. This, make sure that whenever you spawn you have ground underneath you, so leave it at 16. That's the recommended one. So once you're done editing this or just looking at it, if you didn't change anything, just exit out, but if you changed something, hit save and close. Next thing you want to do is get some plugins. It's the fun part, huh? To get plugins, you have to go to bukkit.org and hit get plugins, or you can go to plugins.bukkit.org. The best one to get for a beginning server is Essentials. Like the name says it all, it's essential. This will give you a whole bunch of different commands that will allow you to do stuff. To do stuff like give yourself God mode, which means you can't get hurt. Give yourself items, like a diamond pick or a diamond block. Or give other people's items, and a whole bunch of fun stuff like that. It kind of ruins the game sometimes if you do it, but it allows you to get a city built or do something quick and painless. So once you download the plugin, you are going to want to extract everything to the plugins folder. It's a simple .zip file, so if you're using Windows, you'll be able to open it with no problem. However, I use WinRAR just because I have it installed on my computer, so I use that as the default archiving program. Yours might look different. Once you have everything extracted, you're going to want to start the server again. and it will download a couple more files or create them. And wow, my internet's running really slow for some reason. Anyway, it'll download all the files and it'll create them. And alright, there we go, it's done. It'll create all these extra folders inside your plugins folder. Once it's done, say it's done, you can just hit stop again. That's how you'll stop the server every time. So, go back to plugins, and it'll have these 3 folders here. Group Manager, this allows you to, that's just a program that lets you set people as ranks, regular, administrator, op, something like that, where each different rank gets a different privilege, like using different commands, building in certain areas, stuff like that. Essentials GeoIP, no idea what that does, haven't messed with it much. Essentials though is config a YML file. Just open this. If you want to look at it, just open it using the same thing earlier, either WordPad or Notepad++. Double click it. It will ask you, since it's a YML file, to find one. And it's just, most of this file, you can edit some of this. However, everything with a parent sign or a number sign in front of it, the computer ignores. I mean, the game ignores. So everything with a parent or a number sign in front of it, the game will just skip over that. So all the commands that you want to edit, so all those are notes. All the commands you want to edit will not have something in front of it. Like right here, nether enabled false and stuff like that. That you can edit that. Mob limit on spawn mob. A command in the game is /spawn mob. Spawn mob limit. This will set a limit on how many mobs can be spawned in the game at once, so that your server doesn't poop out on you and crash. The default is 10. However, sometimes I like to be essentially an a-hole and just mess with my friends, so I put it to 20, and I spawn creepers in their house. But I use Big Brother, so it's all backed up anyway. But Big Brother's another plugin. If you've edited it, hit save. That's essential. That's pretty much everything. Oh, I forgot actually. That's not everything. Minecraft. Let me just show you what the server will look like when you get inside of it. Log in like normal. Start up the server. Go to multiplayer. If it's being run on the same machine, like mine is, you can just type in localhost and hit connect, and you'll spawn. Yay, snow! However, if you're not running localhost, if you're not running on the same machine, you'll have to enter an IP address. So, to find out what your IP address is, you'll have to go to whatismyip.com. It'll tell you your IP address in big numbers right here. You can't miss them. It says your IP address is : number. You cannot miss them. If you do, then you are an idiot and blind. Sorry. Anyway, you type in your IP address there, whatever IP address it gives you, if you're not on the same machine, and hit connect, and it'll work. That IP address is also what you want to give your friends, so that they can connect to your server. That IP address, by the way, will let anybody in the world connect to your router, get inside of it, and mess with it. So only give it out to people who you trust. If you do not trust them, there are services that will allow you to use a different IP and will redirect them to the server, so that you don't actually have to give out your real IP. However, this tutorial does not cover that. I will so, back to the game for a little bit. I want to show you a couple of commands. Here's one of them. Item. This will give you yourself an item. So, item, let's do something kind of hard to get. Diamond. By default, it gives you 64 of each item. So, item. If you want to change it to 1 or 2 or 3, you just add a number. So let's do pretty simple, and unfortunately sometimes it ruins the game because you have everything handed to you. But whatever, it's fun, right? Oh, another useful command is /God. This puts God mode on, and you can't die. From anything, any drops from the sky, any people that attack you. Oh, last but not least, the best command ever is time, night, or day. You can change the time of the game with a simple command. So if it starts to go nighttime on you and you don't like it, you can hit time, day, and it changes it to day. So you can keep building, you can keep doing whatever without having to worry about mobs spawning. Or if you have them off, then you don't have to worry about them at all. Either way, it's a very useful command, especially if people start complaining about there's monsters attacking me and you don't feel like going over there to help them fight them. So yeah, that's pretty much it. This is Matt at 12 with Cod Notice signing out. Have a good day.